always have known that this was not the end. It was only the beginning of our fight to rescue the American dream.
Widely labeled by historians as one of the worst presidents in the history of the United States, former President Donald Trump has been a controversial figure in American politics. After losing the 2020 presidential election to Joseph Biden and falling short of a repeat victory in 2022, Trump announced another run for the White House in 2024.
Always have known that this was not the end. It was only the beginning. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Becoming the first major candidate to formally announce a 2024 presidential bid. However, recent developments suggest that Trump may have made himself ineligible to ever serve in the White House again. How? In this video, we will explore the different reasons why Trump may never be president again and the constitutional basis for this claim. But before we dive in, take a moment to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. On November 8, 2016, Donald Trump was elected as the 45th President of the United States.
Preserve, protect, and defend
Preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
After his inauguration on January 20th, 2017, he served from 2017 to 2021. Before his political career, Trump worked as a businessman and real estate developer. During his time in office, he faced impeachment twice, first in 2019 and then in 2021, joining the ranks of Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton as the third president formally impeached by Congress in U.S. history. On September 24, 2019, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi initiated a formal impeachment inquiry into President Trump. This inquiry was related to allegations that he had pressured the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, to investigate his political rival, former Vice President Joe Biden. The move to authorize the inquiry followed a leaked whistleblower complaint that revealed details of a July phone call between Trump and the Ukrainian president, in which Trump allegedly tied Ukrainian military aid to personal political favors. A reconstructed transcript of the call was released by the White House, which many Democrats argued showed a violation of the Constitution. On December 18, 2020, President Trump became the third U.S. president in history to be impeached. The House of Representatives voted along party lines to impeach him for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, with no Republicans in favor and 3 Democrats voting against one or both articles of impeachment. On February 5, 2020, the Senate, also largely along party lines, acquitted Trump on both charges. On January 11, 2021, House Democrats introduced a second article of impeachment, accusing the president of incitement of insurrection. This article cited phone calls, speeches, and tweets by President Trump that allegedly incited a violent crowd to attack the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. On January 13, 2021, the House of Representatives voted to impeach President Trump for the second time, making him the only president in history to face this twice. Unlike his first impeachment, 10 Republicans joined House Democrats in favor of impeachment, while 197 Republicans voted against it. The Senate trial occurred after Trump left office, where he was found not guilty, though 7 Republican senators voted to convict, marking it as the most bipartisan Senate impeachment vote in history. While no U.S. president has ever been removed from office through impeachment because the framers of the Constitution intentionally made it challenging for Congress to remove a sitting president, it only takes a simple majority in the House to formally impeach a president. This doesn't mean that the president is out of a job. However, as removal requires a Senate impeachment trial, where a 2/3 majority must find the president guilty. Though Trump wasn't removed from office, some speculate that the impeachments might have barred him from future federal office. However, this isn't the case, as the impeachment process did not end with a formal ban from future public office. Nevertheless, the former president appears ineligible for the 2024 presidential ballot. Why? The 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution states that no person shall hold any office if they have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the United States. Legal scholars have pointed out that this provision could pose a potential obstacle to Trump's candidacy in 2024. Their argument centers on the idea that Trump's actions in the lead-up to and during the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot might be seen as insurrection or rebellion, potentially disqualifying him from seeking office once more. While some individuals may want to argue in favor of Trump by contending that his behavior doesn't meet the criteria for insurrection, as neither the Constitution nor the Insurrection Act specifically define insurrection, one thing remains certain. If Trump decides to run for office in the future, someone will likely bring a legal challenge, claiming that he is ineligible to become president due to his actions surrounding January 6, 2021. Since this is a matter of constitutional interpretation, the courts will ultimately need to adjudicate it. Another potential obstacle facing Trump's bid for the presidency is the possibility of facing prosecution for his involvement in the Capitol riot and other alleged wrongdoings. While Trump managed to secure acquittals in the Senate when impeached by the House of Representatives, the Justice Department still retains the authority to consider prosecuting him on various charges. These charges include obstruction of an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and dereliction of duty. If Trump were to be found guilty of any of these charges, it could potentially disqualify him from pursuing future political office. Some individuals have suggested, however, that an impeachment might not necessarily halt Trump's presidential aspirations entirely, as he could campaign or fulfill presidential duties from within a prison cell. There are even those who speculate that Trump may be banking on his presidential candidacy to shield him from prosecution in some way. The United States Constitution outlines the qualifications for holding the office of the presidency in clear and straightforward terms. These requirements include being a natural-born citizen, meeting the minimum age requirement, and maintaining residency. Notably, the Supreme Court has explicitly stated that these constitutionally mandated qualifications cannot be altered or supplemented by either the U.S. Congress or individual states. As such, some argue that no legal limitation could be placed on Trump's candidacy, nor could he be barred from assuming office if he were to face indictment or even conviction. Even in the event of a conviction and subsequent incarceration, a presidential candidate would not be prevented from continuing their campaign, although they may not have the ability to vote for themselves due to their felon status. History provides us with examples of candidates for federal office who have run for, and in some cases, been elected to office while incarcerated. Eugene V. Debs was serving a 10-year sentence in an Atlanta penitentiary when he lost the presidential election in 1920. Debs, who was a labor leader, had expressed his opposition to America's participation in World War I 2 years prior. His conviction stemmed from violating the Espionage Act of 1917, as the prosecution claimed that his anti-war speech hindered military enrollment. In the United States, there are no laws that specifically prohibit individuals from the path of prison to the White House. The only exception, of course, is involvement in insurrection. Another hurdle looming over Trump's potential candidacy is the resistance within his own Republican Party. While Trump undoubtedly has a passionate following among his supporters, not all members of the GOP share the enthusiasm for his bid to reclaim the presidency. One prominent example is Republican Senator Todd Young, who stated that he would not support Trump's pursuit of the Republican Party's presidential nomination in the upcoming 2024 election. Senator Young justified his stance by pointing to the former president's stance on the Russian invasion of Ukraine as an illustration of Trump's questionable judgment. Senator Young's position could also be an indication of the growing division within the Republican Party regarding Trump, particularly within its upper echelons. Some Republicans may be wary of aligning themselves with Trump following the events of the Capitol riot and his persistent false claims of election fraud. Others may be worried about Trump's attributes and conduct, citing his authoritarian inclinations and fervent desire for unlimited presidential power, both of which have drawn criticism. Such character traits suggest a presidency that could be marked by volatility. Trump's narcissism, contentiousness, and grandiose tendencies could potentially translate into an assertive and unyielding decision-maker who places a premium on achieving the grandest and most dazzling results, all while seemingly indifferent to the collateral damage left in his wake. Without the backing of his party, Trump's chances of securing another presidential victory would be significantly reduced. While the path remains open for Trump to consider a presidential run in 2024, there are several potential barriers to his candidacy. These obstacles could come together to complicate Trump's efforts to launch a successful campaign. Nevertheless, only time will tell whether Trump will choose to embark on another presidential bid, and if so, whether he will manage to garner the necessary support for success. Would you like to see Trump become the President of the United States once more? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you're yet to do so. We'll see you in our next video.